Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video all about Instagram, social media, how to build your Instagram. I get these questions all the time. I get people DMing me all the time asking me things such as what equipment do I use, how do I edit my pictures, how do I start working with brands, all those kind of things. So I'm going to be doing a video today telling you guys all about that and giving you tips on how to grow your Instagram and yeah, all of that. I'm not even going to ramble for ages, going to get straight onto it. But if you are brand new onto my YouTube channel and you love fashion content and all that kind of thing, then definitely click that subscribe button. I'm going to focus this more on Instagram, and I've been doing Instagram for just over a year, maybe like a year and a half now. I had my YouTube channel for ages, and then finally a few of you guys would ask me to create an Instagram page. I was like, might as well. And honestly, like, the best decision I have ever made. So the first thing that I'm going to go through is the equipment that I use, because I get questions on that all the time. So for my Instagram pictures, I use the Canon G7X Mark II camera. So this is what it looks like, and it flips up. It's really good for vlogging. I use this for vlogging. I use this for taking outside pictures, indoor pictures. A lot of people use iPhones, and I think it's really good to use your iPhone if it's a good quality one, like it takes good quality pictures. But I don't, because I don't like the way that iPhone pictures look. I feel like they make me look really orange. I don't like that. And that camera is amazing for, like, it has this filter which I just love. So I use the Canon G7X for my Instagram pictures for indoor and outside, and then for my YouTube videos, the camera that I'm using now is my Canon 700D. I mean, it's definitely not one of the latest, you know, Canon cameras, and at the time that I bought this, it was very expensive for me because I was just getting into it. But yeah, I definitely recommend this camera. The only thing is that sometimes it can come in and out of focus and start focusing on like my handbags and stuff, which is quite annoying. But in general, it's a really good camera, and I reckon now I've had this for like 3 years now, at least 3 years, maybe like three or 4 years. And I would say that it's probably gone down in price, or you can try to get one second hand as well. In terms of editing, so for my YouTube, I use iMovie. It comes with my MacBook Pro, and that's just what I use. I don't do any like technical thing, so I just don't need it. And then for my Instagram, so when I was taking outdoor pictures, I literally would only use the Instagram app to like add a bit of warmth, brighten, darken. With indoor pictures, I just need to adjust it a little bit more. So I use Lightroom, to just adjust the lighting in the background mainly. And if a picture's really dark in the background, sometimes I go onto Facetune. I recently found this out, that Facetune has a whitening function, which I think it's used to like whiten your teeth, but actually you can use it to whiten the background, and occasionally I will use that. It's just so much hard. It can be a lot harder to create fashion content inside if you don't have good lighting and all of that. So that's why I have started using Lightroom, and also occasionally Facetune to brighten up the background. I don't use it for anything else. I'm not into editing. Yeah, so I'm just not one of the people that enjoys editing. So I don't enjoy like spending hours. I literally will like spend 10 minutes, if that, quickly editing a picture. But I think if you use a good quality camera and you take good quality pictures, then generally it's, you know, you don't have to do as much editing. Okay, let's actually get onto the tips that I'm going to give you guys to help build your Instagram. Obviously, like, I don't have a huge following on Instagram, like, but I think it's really good to hear tips and tricks from the perspective of someone who has a relatively small following. The biggest thing that I can say is that Instagram, like, your Instagram is very tailored to you, and how Instagram pushes your content depends on how you act on the app, which is quite annoying to say, but I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, if you do very spammy things like copy and paste comments, or you reply to loads of comments all at once, I'm trying to think of other like things that Instagram could see as spammy. But if you do things that seem a bit like a robot, Instagram is not gonna take well to your pictures, if you know what I mean. So what I would say is that be very careful. Like, for instance, one time I was going through people who I was following, or people who were following me, and I was trying to get rid of like accounts that looked a bit botty, and Instagram didn't allow me to delete more than like 10 accounts because it saw that as like spammy. And also, if you use third-party apps, then I would be careful doing that, you know, logging into those, because it might increase the chances of your account getting hacked, and also Instagram doesn't like it when you log in onto third-party apps. So be very, very careful about your about what you're doing on your app. The biggest tip that I can give you guys is consistency. And I know people say this all the time. The amount of times I've watched these videos when I first started and people would be like, you need to be consistent. But I'm telling you, you need to be consistent. It doesn't matter how well your pictures are or how whatever. If you are not consistent and you are trying to grow your Instagram page, it's not going to work. It's just not, okay? So for me, consistency, especially when you're first starting, it's posting every day. I was posting every day, sometimes even twice a day. But as my following grew, then I would kind of like drop it down to like once a day. Now I post anywhere between 5 to 7 times a week. But yeah, posting every single day is, I think it's absolutely necessary if you're trying to build your page and grow a following. You know, I see people who message me and they're like, oh, how do I grow my page? And then you go on their page and they haven't posted in like 2 weeks. It's just so much harder. I think also with Instagram as an app, you see a picture, you like it, you don't like it, you go through. And if someone's pictures aren't coming up, like if your pictures aren't coming up onto your followers' feed, people just forget about you. Yeah, consistency is the absolute one. I would say 5 to 7 times a week, necessary, okay? Especially when you are building your page. Yeah, so another thing that I would say is to have a consistent theme, okay? So with me, I like neutral outfits and I like warmer tone pictures, okay? I like my pictures to be nice and bright, to really see what's going on. Yeah, so I always think that when I am going onto someone new, like I've discovered a new Instagram page, a new fashion page, I scroll through the pictures, 30 seconds, and within that 30 seconds I've decided whether I want to follow them or not. I'm not sitting there for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, thinking, shall I follow this girl? No. Within a second I know whether it's my vibe or not. And that's what your followers, that's what potential followers will be thinking for you as well. So to build that, I would say that you need to use similar filters, have similar tones, and also you can actually, in your bio, you can tell people what your page is about. So for me, my page is all about neutral outfits. I do very casual, everyday outfits, and in my bio I've put all about the neutral, so people know what to expect. Like, they're not going to get the most colourful outfits, because that ain't me. Well, it is me on YouTube, kind of, but not really me on Instagram. I wouldn't use like different filters throughout, because it just looks messy. The next tip that I would give is have good quality pictures. I'm sure you guys know what good quality pictures are and what good quality pictures are not. Yeah, make sure your pictures are nice and clear. Okay, so how to actually grow your page, okay? Instagram's algorithm is always changing, so what works now may not work in the future, and it also depends, like I said, to how you act on the app. If you are doing spammy things, Instagram's going to block you, it's going to block your pictures. For a while, I wasn't even doing spammy things. Sometimes you don't even have to do spammy things, but every time I would post a picture, actually I'll tell you what I was doing. Every time I would post a picture, Instagram would be like, would block my reach and then tell me to promote. So promoting, when it gets you to pay so that you can get a bigger reach. I mean, a lot of people do that, but I don't. I think I did it for like the first few months. I would occasionally pay like £5 and get it to promote, but then these people weren't following me, so I was like, why am I promoting just to not even get followers? I was getting the likes, but I wasn't getting the followers, so I stopped that. So I'm gonna get into hashtags, okay? When I first started, probably like for the first year, I would consistently use hashtags, and it actually really helped to build my page. Like, really helped to, really helped me get a bigger reach, get to more people. Yeah, and it really, really helped me. So hashtag is really hard. It's really hard to find the right ones. A lot of hashtags don't work. There's loads of videos on YouTube on how to find like the right hashtag. So I would recommend you should go and find those videos of people who are more experienced and who know like the technical sides of that, because I certainly don't. A tip that I would say is that if you see someone's picture that's doing really well, this is what I did. If you see that someone's picture that's doing really well, look at what hashtags they're using. Use their hashtags, okay? you don't have to start making up your own hashtags. Literally, what I would do is I would find people and I'd be like, oh, she's getting good likes, let me see what hashtags she's using, and then I would use some of them, and if they worked I would keep using it. If they didn't, I would stop using them. That moves me on to the next thing. The reason why Instagram kept kind of telling me to promote and blocking my reach is because I was acting spammy in the sense that I was using the same hashtags every single day. Yeah, it took me a long time to learn this, okay? It took me a long time to learn this, and then when I learned it, I've never gone back. It's like last year when I first initially started my page, I used the same set of hashtags for maybe like 6 months straight, and it worked, and then all of a sudden my hashtags were getting blocked. So I would say that if you are using hashtags, try to switch them up. I would even say don't use the same ones with like the following pictures. So if you use one hashtag for one picture, on the next day maybe switch it up a little bit, because Instagram is very, very sensitive to that. If you're getting a message on your picture saying promote to get a bigger reach, you're being spammy, your hashtags ain't working, and Instagram's not going to promote you, stop using this hashtag. So what I actually started doing was I stopped using hashtags altogether, and that is where I saw the biggest difference, okay? This ain't going to work for everybody, because I tell people this sometimes and then they're like, oh yeah, it doesn't work for me. And I think for the first like month or so, it didn't really help that much. But using hashtags, okay, one thing that I realised that by using hashtags is that every time that I would use hashtags, I would see that my impressions and my reach would never be from home. And I think home is where like your followers are. And I was like, why isn't Instagram showing my pictures to the people that actually follow me, that are more likely to like my pictures? Instead, by using hashtags, I was getting shown to like random accounts. I don't know what accounts they are. Random accounts that don't follow me. And my core base of people were never seeing my pictures. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to stop using hashtags to see if actually Instagram shows my pictures to my actual audience. And when Instagram started showing my pictures to my actual audience, these people who follow me for a reason were liking my pictures. If you guys don't know, then within the first hour, if your pictures do really good, Instagram pushes it out more. And by not using hashtags, my pictures were being shown by my audience who were liking my pictures. And then when they were liking my pictures, Instagram was like, ooh, a lot of people have liked this, you know, considering it's only been up for an hour. Instagram then, it took about a month or so, Instagram then started pushing me onto the Explore page. And guys, the Explore page is where it's at. That's where you want to be. Forget hashtags, forget everything else. You want to be on the Explore page. And it took me about a year and a half to finally start getting exposure on the Explore page, okay? But I learned the hard way. I experimented, tried this, tried that, and that's all it is with Instagram. At the end of the day, it's just an app, okay? At first, hashtags are working. Hashtags stopped working because Instagram was like, you're being too spammy with these hashtags. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to stop using hashtags. And then finally, my content was getting pushed out onto the Explore page, and that is how I got about it, okay? So even if you do still use hashtags, make sure that you're not using them all the time. Experiment, try different things, okay? It's good getting good impressions and reach on through hashtags, but the Explore page, yeah. Okay, so the next tip that I say that really has helped me build my audience is getting reposted by other brands. So this could be through taking a picture in an outfit, the brand really likes it, they repost it onto their own Instagram page, boom, you get followers. I think when I had about 8,000 followers, that's what really, really helped me, is when I was getting reposted. Because a lot of times, like, when you get reposted, you could get like hundreds of followers, all, you know, within 24 hours. Also, getting reposted by other big pages really helps. Getting reposted by, you know, like those fashion pages that repost other people's pictures, getting reposted by them really helps. And so let's say I'm looking to get reposted by New Look, okay? I'm going to wear a full outfit of New Look. Another thing is, I know it's hard, but wearing new in. The brand's not going to repost you if you're wearing last year's New Look, if I'm being completely honest. They're just not, because nobody can buy that. As hard as it sounds, wearing new in things can really help. So yeah, getting reposted by brands, by bigger pages, is huge. It can really help to build your page, and the easiest way to do that, like I said, is to wear a full outfit of theirs, or as many things as possible. Let's move on to the working with brands section of this video. I know this is very long, but I just want to chat with you guys, and I hope this is really helpful. If anybody else also has any tips that they want to leave, please leave them down below, because you know, we're all a community, we want to share. By the way, they are the things that have helped me. I know a lot of people have join engagement groups. I get questions about them all the time. Is joining an engagement group good? I've never done it. I'm not really interested in it. I kind of joined an engagement group probably when I was under like 3,000 followers, and then there were all these rules. These are the next type of questions that I get, is working with brands. So the best way to work with brands is to, if you have a small following, is to buy their clothes, tag them, hope that you're going to get noticed by them. Through that, they'll keep you in mind. They might want to send you some PR, some stuff. I think that's a really good way to start working with brands, is to actually wear their clothes already and tag them, use their hashtags. If you go into a brand's Instagram page, they usually have hashtags that they use and that they follow, so try and do that. I'd also say that if you are looking to work with brands, make sure that you have good engagement. So you have a good number of likes in comparison to your followers. I would say that just good comments, all of that. I definitely say engagement is probably like the most important thing in terms of getting followers and working with brands. Brands want to see that people like what you do. Another tip that I would say, that once you've secured or you got an email from a brand asking for you, asking to work with you, what I would say is always try to ask them what their budget is. Sometimes brands are quite reluctant. I've had that a few times where you email them like, what's your budget? And they'll be like, what are your rates? I'm like, but I asked you first. Try to ask what their budget is, because sometimes it can be a lot higher than what you think. And also, don't be scared to say no. There's been times where a brand has said like, I want you to do this, this, this and the other, and I'm going to pay you like nothing, and I'll say no, because you need to know what your value is, like what you think your Instagram posts are worth. The issue sometimes with Instagram is that a lot of people charge very, very low amounts, and then it really hurts the whole brand, and it's going to hurt you in the end, because if brands know that they can get somebody who's gonna accept £5 for a post, then they're gonna always accept that. So don't lowball yourself too much. These brands, they want to work with you. They've emailed you because they want to work with you, okay? They think you're worth it. So don't lowball yourself either, okay? Because it just really hurts the industry. So knowing what you're worth, charging accordingly, and all of that. There are ways that you can work out what you should be charging. There are websites that you can kind of gauge what you should be charging, and always be happy to say no. Also, onto gifting as well. This video is going to be so long. Onto gifting as well. Gifting's a really tricky one, okay? Accept what you like, okay? If you think that the brand is worth it for you, and like, for instance, when I collaborated with Topshop over autumn winter, it was a gifting collaboration, but the gifting was worth it for me, because I was able to make content with that. I was able to show it on YouTube, make YouTube content with that, and I worked with them on a gifting basis, and I really, really enjoyed that, because the gifting that I was getting was very generous, and it was something that I was willing to accept, or is a brand that I really, really love, like Topshop. I think it's okay to accept gifting, but do not accept gifting, just everyday gifting, because obviously brands are gifting you in return for content. So you don't want a brand to be emailing you 2 weeks later being like, why have you not reposted? Do not accept gifting from every single brand. And also be happy to say no to gifting. The more I've done Instagram especially, the more I've been very happy to say no to certain types of gifting, because the brand is either asking for too much and they're not willing to pay me to do my to do my work, or it's just a brand that I know is sells very low quality things. Like, I've seen their clothes, they don't look like, the brand does not align with what I have and what I do and my brand. You know, be very picky with gifting. That's what I'm going to say. I used to just accept everything, and some of the clothes that I would get sent, I was like, the quality is absolutely shocking. And, you know, I would email them back like, I'm not posting this because, you know, literally I put it on and it broke. So yeah, be very picky with gifting. Do not accept every single gifting. I know at first it's very, very exciting and you get in all these packages, but these brands expect something in return, and at the end of the day, I would actually rather just pay. I'd rather just pay. Finally, I'm going to finish this off with reaching out. I haven't reached out to many brands. I've reached out for one brand and it was, you know, helpful to me, but yeah, reaching out can be really, really hard, especially when you have like under 10,000 followers. I feel like a lot of brands are like, nah, but it has worked out for me. I think I started reaching out to brands when I had like 5,000-6,000 followers. I think it can help, but it can also, you know, brands don't have to respond to you, and that's absolutely fine. I would say it's always good to reach out through email, and I would start off by saying, you know, hi, blah blah blah. Try and find the right email as well. If you go into a website, if you go into a fashion brand's website, try and find the right email. You know, if you go right down to the bottom, they have certain types of emails for certain inquiries, and, you know, try and do it that way. Introduce yourself, say why you really like the brand, talk about your own brand. So say, you know, I have this type of following, I have this kind of engagement, you know, sell yourself a little bit, and cross your fingers and hope that the brand's going to reply to you. I haven't done it that much, to be honest. It is really daunting, and it's something that I want to try a little bit more, but yeah, it's really hard to reach out to brands. It is a bit of a struggle because you don't get a reply. I always prefer reaching out through email rather than Instagram DMs, but I have done so through Instagram DMs before and it has worked out for me, so just whatever you feel comfortable with as well. Yeah, so with all that said, this video is at 30 minutes long. I hope I was really helpful to you guys, and yeah, I'm going to leave you guys there. I hope you have a lovely day, morning, evening, wherever you are, and if you're thinking about starting an Instagram page, just start. Right, I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.